Okie dokie, let's make a Hulk smash cake. First thing we're going to do is make our Hulk fist. I am using fondant and I have added some CMC powder to the fondant to help it set harder faster. I then rolled it out flat and I've got a thick end and a thin end. The thick end is sort of the palm and the thin end is where the fingers are. You can see I'm cutting them out now. Once you have all 4 fingers cut, you need to sort of mold them into the shape of the fingers. So you want to make sure that you're highlighting the knuckles and making them not look like just stumpy sausages. I then marked in where the knuckles were going to go, flipped it over, and now it's time to bend the fingers over. So I used my own hand as a guide, and you can see where the knuckles are. Once again, you want to make sure that the fist is not too smooth. Give it texture, give it lumps, like make the knuckles really stand out because that's what makes it look more realistic. Next up, it's time to add the thumb. I always add the thumb separately. I just feel like it makes the whole process a lot easier. So I have made sort of the pad of the palm as well as the thumb, and then I've bent it in the shape using my own hand once again as a reference, and then I just sort of manipulate the fondant so that it all becomes one piece. Also, I stuck it on with just a little bit of water. You don't need very much, just enough to make it sticky. Next, I'm going to add a wrist. Now, I think this is really important because then your fist won't get sort of lost in your cake. It'll sort of stand up a little bit more. And then same thing, I stuck it on with a little bit of water and just blended it in so that the whole piece becomes one. I also added some wrinkles. You want to try and add some texture. It just makes it look so much better. Now it's time to decorate the cake. I've got a chocolate cake. I'm cutting a hole out of the center, and that is where my Hulk fist is going to go. That cake that you've just cut out, you're going to use that in the decoration, so don't throw it out. I then covered the entire thing in a green buttercream, making sure to do a crumb coat, which is the first initial coat that you put on just to catch any crumbs, and then you chill that in the fridge until it's nice and firm before you add this second coat. You just end up with a much neater, cleaner finish. Next step is I also added another layer around the outside of the cake, and this is going to be where my brick wall is going to go. Before I added my fist, I cut out a little bit more cake, and then I added some chocolate ganache to the center. I then used a toothpick in the cake before adding my Hulk fist. My Hulk fist had been sitting for about a day, so it was nice and firm. I added a little bit more chocolate ganache just to sort of cover up where the Hulk fist was coming out, and then on go the extra little cake pieces. So it looks like the Hulk fist has smashed through the center of the cake. I then added a purple layer to the outside. You want to make sure that your buttercream is really firm when you do this. And then I just used a clay carving tool. I got this at like the $2 shop, and I carved the bricks into the buttercream, and you can see that green coming through. Purple and green is obviously very Hulk, so I really loved the effect. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then you just add the rest of your cake scraps around the outside of the cake. I also added some buttercream and some cake to the Hulk fist because, you know, it had smashed through the cake. And yeah, that's it. I added a name as well on mine, but I didn't show that in the video. I think it looks so cool, and Billy absolutely loved it. Thanks for watching. Bye.